Do. Re.
Egon!
Hey Ghost Heads, it's Adam from Channeling Spirits, and today we'll be discussing the extensive history of the immortal Harold Ramis' depiction of Dr. Egon Spengler. For this comprehensive character study, we will be utilizing works that are definitely considered canon, as well as media that is technically part of a tangent timeline, but still illustrates a holistic view of the character. Now a disclaimer, this video is not stating that the following content is accepted as official history. Rather, this exploration will provide a more cohesive portrait than casual viewers may be aware of. For simplicity's sake, we're going to be using Harold Ramis' actual birthday, since there has never been an official date given in any canon material.
Happy birthday, son. Thank you.
From this, we can explore the brains of the Ghostbusters. The earliest information that we are given is in a deleted ending from Ghostbusters II, where it is revealed that Egon's grandparents immigrated from Ostrov, Poland. Based on evidence from the novelization, Ghostbusters, the Supernatural Spectacular, we know that Egon was born in a quiet suburb of Cleveland, Ohio, and given Harold Ramis' birthday, we'll be using November 21st, 1944 as the day Egon came into this world. Given the note found in Ghostbusters the video game, we know that Egon is an uncle. This is a nod to the fan film made by the Denver Ghostbusters, who have an Ed Spengler. There is also a non-canon appearance of Harold Ramis in the 1990 Earth Day special as Egon's twin brother, Egon Spengler, the president of the Wastebusters.
Joining us now is Dr. Egon Spengler, brother of renowned Ghostbuster Dr. Egon Spengler and president of Wastebusters.
Egon's mother was shown in the Real Ghostbusters but never named. We also know Egon mentions his mother used to call him Spookums.
Spookums? What kind of name is that?
My, mother used to call me Spookums.
Although we never meet Egon's father, we do meet his uncle Cyrus, who, like Egon, is a scientist.
Scientists and scholars run in my family.
And Egon is encouraged at a young age to pursue those disciplines.
Well, look at this. The microscope I got for my 3rd birthday.
There are further anecdotes of Egon having a brother and his preoccupation with science. In the Supernatural Spectacular, a young Egon is mentioned having used 3 concentric rings from the Plasticville houses in his brother's Lionel train set as ingredients for a compact explosive. Another story from Spengler's youth comes from the Real Ghostbusters as they battled the actual boogeyman.
When I was a child, the boogeyman would come out of my closet. He's the reason I started investigating the supernatural. I wanted to find a way to stop him.
In Ghostbusters 2, Egon once again implies having had at least one sibling.
You mean you never even had a slinky?
We had part of a slinky, but I straightened it.
We also know that Egon's propensity for scientific aspirations was fostered beyond a microscope, but also,
I had a chemistry set.
it is difficult to know exactly when Egon's fondness for junk food arose. He is seen constantly snacking and being rewarded with a candy bar, and even uses a Twinkie to explain psychokinetic levels in the city. This might have resulted as a rebellion from his strict upbringing.
Very cheerful. My parents didn't believe in toys.
According to Ghostbusters, the Supernatural Spectacular, among the many texts he read was The Mysteries of Latent Abnormality, Electrical Applications of the Psychosexual Drive, Your Friend the Fungus, Astral Projection as an Untapped Power Source, and the Necronomicon.
There the Necronomicon awaits.
Expanding on his novelization, Richard Mueller also noted in a Real Ghostbusters episode,
I had the largest ant farm in the state of Ohio.
and later in Mueller's novelization, he expanded that Egon spent time observing the mating rituals of teenagers, with which he devised a complex formula that calculated the exact number of venereal diseases that he then posted on a high school bulletin board. By the autumn of 1962, Egon definitely would have entered college, though other sources insinuate that he may have begun much earlier. We know that academics continued to be a focal point for his parents.
In college, I once got an A- on a test and my parents wouldn't talk to me for a week.
Given that timeline, by 1966, Egon would have completed his undergraduate degree. Shortly following that, he would have begun his work on a doctorate in physics at MIT, as mentioned in the October 7, 1983 draft. Knowing he studied Your Friend the Fungus, and that
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
the novelization elaborated that he maintained a rooftop fungus farm. It also goes into greater detail onto why Dr. Spengler is so interested in fungi. He reveals to Janine that his rationale is that he believes they will soon be the food of the future. At some point, possibly to pay for his schooling, Egon also became a licensed coroner.
Egon used to be a licensed coroner.
By 1971, he would have graduated with a PhD in physics. Shortly following that, Egon would have started his second PhD in parapsychology at Columbia University. A year later, Peter Venkman would enter the same program, which was noted that he got through graduate school solely by Egon's assistance. From a deleted scene, Peter takes full credit for introducing Egon and Ray, which would later lay the foundations for their future business.
If anybody deserves Nobel recognition, it would be Spengler and me. We're going to be designing all the equipment and doing the hard research.
Whoa! I introduced you. If it weren't for me, you never would have met. And that's got to be worth something. Hello, John.
The Supernatural Spectacular also explains he made an attempt at a death ray and made a sonic gun which did little to people but set off soft drinks at 100 yards. Peter one night drunkenly took it to a Coca-Cola warehouse and Egon quickly dismantled it after that. By 1974, Egon would have received his second doctorate in parapsychology and begun work as an associate professor.
I'm going to be your instructor for the next 5 weeks. So I want you to call me Russell, and I'm going to call you by your first names, because frankly, I'd have a pretty tough time pronouncing some of your last names.
At one point, he would have actually attempted self-trepanation.
Egon, this reminds me of the time you tried to drill a hole through your head. Remember that?
That would have worked if you hadn't stopped me.
Which was legitimately believed to increase latent psychic tendencies. Peter thwarted this attempt, and given his time at Columbia, by 1979 he would have been given the position of associate professor. With tenure, Egon may very well have been able to continue at Columbia in physics, but it is clear his heart wanted to pursue something more. Because of that, the three men went on to successfully endeavor into a lucrative enterprise. Being the brains behind it all, the Ghostbusters were able to explore unimagined opportunities never dreamed of.
We eat gods for breakfast.
So there you have it, folks, a comprehensive study of Egon Spengler's unique history. If you enjoyed this video and think we deserve it,
You've earned it.
please subscribe. I'm Adam with Channeling Spirits, and thank you for watching.